Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And make sure you hit that like button. And make sure, man, can y'all give me a follow on Twitter? I need to get my followers on Twitter up as we hop into this matchup versus South Alabama. And they are a decent team. I mean, they're not the greatest, but they actually did lose to Alabama only by 6 points. And remember, we go up against Alabama this year as well. In fact, next week. So this is going to be a good test for us to see how they matched up versus Alabama and see how we do against them. So they do have Cephas Johnson at quarterback, a redshirt junior, 6'5", 212, having a decent season, 3 touchdown passes to 1 interception. And he's not really a mobile quarterback. He's 80 speed, but he also can throw the ball all right as well. 82 throw power to 81 accuracy. So here we are starting out this game, and we're getting some pressure on Cephas Johnson, and that's London Welshman. Remember, he was one of our top recruits 2 years ago, and now he's coming into his sophomore season, and he's looking to put some stats up because he didn't do anything really his freshman year. It was kind of just a fill-in player, but you can see, speaking of master players here, Tyron Summers coming onto the field after a great Alan King return to start this game. As here's Tyron Summers getting the handoff for 14 yards, moving the ball inside the 5 already. So on a 1st and goal, giving it off to Tyron Summers again, and that was easy. That was only a 3-play drive, 2 runs for touchdowns, and that's going to be a touchdown already, 7-0. So here comes Johnson back out onto the field at quarterback, and this time he's getting this to his receiver, Zach Crosby, on that one. So now on a 1st and 10, dumping it off to the right to his running back, Sinkfield, and look at that gang tackle, and that's a sea of Coastal defenders as we get them to lose a gain of 5 on that. So now on a 3rd and 8, here is Richardson beating Alan King. We sent the all-out pressure, but it was just too much as Johnson gets rid of the ball. So now here is Sinkfield on a draw play, picking up a gain of 6 as he continues to move this ball closer and closer to the goal line. So now they run the exact same play back again, and another gain of 6. So now they're inside the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's Johnson hanging it off to Kirkpatrick, and Craig Kirkpatrick gets into the end zone for the touchdown, making it a 7-7 game already. So 2 quick scores for both teams as it's only 3 minutes into this game. Here is Curtin throwing out across the middle, and that's Angel Gonzalez filling into that slot role nicely, as Sam Forbes did graduate last season, and Angel Gonzalez is doing a pretty good job in that slot role. But now that we have this running game going, you can see Tyron Summers getting a handoff up the middle, and that's a gain of 4. So now 1st and 10, past the 50-yard line. Here's Curtin from the shotgun, throwing out to the right side. That's Gonzalez once again, 8 yards on that one. So 2nd and 2. Here is Summers on the draw play, running out to the left side, picking up a block that time on the outside, making one man miss, making another man miss, and he's going to make it into the end zone for the touchdown. What a run by Tyron Summers, and what a great block on the outside that time by our talented sophomore receiver. As, man, we are doing really well on offense this season. It's been great to watch these guys develop, and Tyron Summers is definitely the catalyst in that offense. So now here Kier Patterson gets a sack on that one on 3rd and 24, gets another one. So Kier Patterson, the sophomore left end, gets 2 sacks on that one. And we have a gang of sophomores in this dynasty here, and led by London Welshman and Kier Patterson. They're both really good sophomores. They both get in on pass rushing situations, and they're making a difference so far. So we do get the ball back after a punt, and we actually get it into field goal range, but after a delay of game, we lose 5 yards, and we move out of field goal range, and we throw the ball across the middle, and that's almost picked off as Curtin throws across the middle and can't get it to his receiver, so we had to punt the ball away. So here is Johnson back out onto the field, getting it to Murphy for 10 yards to start this next drive out. So now here is Johnson throwing to the right side once again, finding Crosby for 13 yards. So now close to the 50-yard line, 2nd and 4, throwing the ball to the left side, and that's Baker on the catch, and he holds on to it in traffic, getting tackled by Alan King. So now Johnson under center this time, throwing the ball once again on a slant route, and that's Murphy again. So now they make it to the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 here as the first quarter winds down, giving it to Sinkfield on the carry. Sinkfield is dragging his defender, and he's going to pick up about 8, dragging Chris Thornton to about the 10-yard line. So now on a 2nd and 2, Sinkfield once again breaking a couple of tackles. He's kind of hard to bring down as he gains 6 on that one. So Johnson, 2nd and goal, faking the handoff on the read option, getting to the right side. He's going to get around Kenneth Ruff, and Ruff actually has the impact star under him after one good game. That's kind of surprising, as he allows the touchdown on the tackle that time, so making it a 14-all game. So now we come back on offense here to start the second quarter. Here's Garrison Burnett on the 15-yard reception, and we've been trying to get him the ball. He's a dynamic receiver. He can also play a little bit of quarterback if we really wanted him to, but he picks up the first on that one. So now we get it down to a 3rd and 10 here. 7 minutes left in the second quarter. There's Mike Harrison, the sophomore I was talking about earlier, and he picks up a gain of 15, and that's a first down for Coastal. So now we're at the 30-yard line, throwing the ball to the right side. That's Garrison Burnett, but he cannot keep his feet in bounds. But they go and take another look, and look at that toe. It's in bounds. So now 2nd and 2 here at about the 23-yard line, as here's Summers getting the handoff to the left side. He's going to pick up a block that time by Mike Harrison once again, and he gets in for another long run, as Tyron Summers just cannot be stopped this season. He's on top of the Heisman list for a reason, and the season that he's having, it kind of reminds me of Alex Brown's big season that he used to have with Marquette. I mean, for all you guys who are the OGs of this channel, who do you guys think is better, Alex Brown or Tyron Summers? Because it's close. I mean, Alex Brown tore it up at Marquette, and Tyron Summers is absolutely doing a number this year, as nobody can stop him. So here is Johnson back out on the drive, the next possession, and he's giving the ball to Sinkfield here. And our run defense has been pretty good, not giving up many long runs, and that's London Welshman for another stop. So now 2nd and 11, throwing the ball to the left side, taking a big hit by Orlando Norman is Murphy, but he's holding on to that one as Johnson keeps this drive alive with the big throw. But here, giving it off to Sinkfield, and that's a gang of defenders led by Chris Thornton, the All-American, for his 2nd tackle for loss of the game. 8 tackles already. So now 2nd and 12, getting it out to his tight end Tim Beach, and that's a gain of 9. So 3rd and 2. Here is Johnson. Cephas Johnson under center. He's going to face a little bit of pressure. He's going to throw this out of the back of the end zone, and that's a small win for us, as they had to settle for the field goal, giving us a little bit of time to drive down the field. So now 3 minutes left here in this half. Here is Tyron Summers getting the reception, and he's picking up 8 on that one. So now close to 2 minutes left. Here's Curtin once again throwing deep across the middle, and that's going to be tipped, and it could have been dropped. It could have been caught and dropped, but I think that may have been tipped, as Angel Gonzalez can't hold on to that one. So now on a 2nd and 10, facing too much pressure, trying to get rid of the ball, but not enough time, and we take the 13-yard sack. So now 3rd and 23. Here is Curtin trying to get rid of the ball again, but takes another big hit, as we had to punt the ball away, as they have all 3 timeouts left to drive the length of this field and maybe even take the lead going into half. So here is Johnson completing the pass on the left side, as he gets it to a 3rd and 2 here and getting it past the 50. So now Sinkfield gets him to about the 48. So 1st and 10. 50 seconds left in this half. Here is Johnson rolling out to the right side, making a man miss, but he's going to cough it up. And that's Derek Armstrong. He's going to recover it. And that is the freshman Micah Wentz on the strip that time. And now we are set up. 44 seconds left. We have a chance to drive the length of the field and get some points on the board, because we have 3 timeouts left. Nice start here. Tyron Summers getting to the outside. 22 yards on that carry. So 2nd and 10. This time facing a lot of pressure. The pocket collapses, and that's going to be a sack by Tyrone Arnold of the defense. So now 3rd and 17. Too much pressure up the middle, but he barely does get rid of it. But that is not going to be it. We are actually going to go into halftime not being able to put on any points here with a 21-17 lead. So here to start the second half, we do start out with the ball, and Allen King has been giving us good field position in this game with his returns, and he starts us out close to the 50-yard line, and Tyron Summers picks up right where he left off and is already at 133 yards off of just 9 carries in this game. So here is Jack Collette getting a reception on the right side, and that's 18 yards on that reception. So 1st and 10, play action fake. Here's Curtin rolling out to the right side. He's going to find a wide open Angel Gonzalez who separates himself from the cornerback and gets in for the first receiving touchdown of the game as he makes this a 28-17 lead. So here comes Johnson back out onto the field, and that's Cedric Granger on the stop to start this second half as he comes up with the 1-yard loss on that one. So now 3rd and 11. Here's Johnson avoiding some pressure, but throwing across the middle, and that's picked off. Orlando Norman, and man, Norman is having himself an amazing 2 years and has pretty much ascended himself into the conversation of, man, maybe he should be considered for the best cornerback in the nation this year, because he's been on a tear the last couple of years. He started last year when I moved him to the left side, and now Xavier Davis is on the right side. We had Malik Great over there last year, but Orlando Norman just having himself another great start to the season. So now 2nd and 1, throwing the ball across the middle. That's Angel Gonzalez once again getting in for his 2nd touchdown of the game, and that's going to make it a 2-score lead here in the middle of the 3rd quarter. So now here's Johnson back out onto the field, and he's getting it to Baker there for 8 yards. So 2nd and 2, handing the ball off to his running back Sinkfield, and he's picking up a pretty nice gain that time, 11 yards up the middle. Nice blocking by the South Alabama offensive line. So now 2nd and 11, throwing the ball out to the outside, and this time Norman can't get to that one. That's a gain of 11. So 3rd and 11. Here is Sinkfield getting the handoff up the middle, and that's 4 yards and a first down. So now 3.5 minutes left in this second half, and here is Chris Thornton. He's getting that tackle, and you know, Chris Thornton is he might be having a better season than he had last year. Remember, he was an All-American last year, but he is just on a tear this year as he is not allowing anything. There is another tackle by him as we get them to settle for a field goal. So here's Tyron Summers back out onto the field as they just cannot stop him. Our offensive line is doing a pretty good job here blocking, but on this play, not so much. Jimbo Brown gets in, and that's a tackle for loss by Tyrone Arnold again as Jimbo loses 5 on that one. But on a 2nd and 15, here trying to get some yardage back, and he does that. Runs over the safety 13 yards up the middle, and that gets us to a manageable 3rd and 2. And here's Jimbo still on the field, 5 yards gained, and the 1-2 combo of Jimbo Brown and Tyron Summers just has not been stopped so far this year, as here's Tyron Summers back in the game, picking up 9. So now 2nd and 1. Now into the 4th quarter. Here's Tyron Summers getting the counter from the pistol, picking up 10 on that one. So now we're inside the 20-yard line, facing a 3rd and 7. Here's Curtin rolling out to the left side. He's going to face a little bit of pressure and dump it off to Justin Johnson. He's going to keep his feet in bounds and make it to about the 1-yard line. So that's a pretty nice throw that time from Curtin rolling out to the left as he finds Justin Johnson as Jimbo Brown finishes off this drive, and he picks up the touchdown. So now both running backs have a touchdown running in this game, and that makes it a 22-point lead going into about 4.5 minutes left in this half, as there is Micah Went. I mean, look at this. I mean, we are just demolishing them from the point of attack. I mean, our offensive line, our defensive line, they're both doing great in this game, as here is Johnson. He is finding Murphy on this one for 6 yards. So 1st and 10 here. Johnson under center, throwing the ball across the middle, and that's going to be caught by Flennard, and that's only going to be 6 yards, as we've not given up any big plays in this game. So here is Johnson rolling out to the right side, this time and getting sacked. And that's Kier Patterson, his 3rd sack of the game, his career high, as man, is he going to have a good career. He's only a sophomore, just remember that, as they have to go for it now on a 4th and 10, and that's picked off by Orlando Norman. And what a game from this secondary. Orlando Norman, 2 interceptions. We had a forced fumble by Michael Went, the freshman, and Cephas Johnson just cannot overcome the sacks and the interceptions, as they do end up scoring one more touchdown in garbage time, but that's not enough as we go and beat them, go to 2-0 in conference play, 28-42, as Angel Gonzalez gets into the end zone twice in this one, as Tyron Summers, I mean, just continues to have a magical season. Jimbo Brown didn't have a bad game at all, 72 yards. as Chris Thornton led us all in tackles, 13 total. But the story of this game was Keir Patterson with 3 sacks and London Welshman with 2. The 2 sophomores leading the way. Look at this. I mean, London Welshman is only 59 overall, and he got 2 sacks. And Keir Patterson isn't too far ahead with 67 overall. And then on the secondary side, Orlando Norman had 2 picks. And I mean, it was just an all-around great game. Even Xavier Davis had a good game on the right side of the defense. Didn't give up anything. Derek Armstrong had a fumble recovery, and it was just a great all-around game. I'm proud of these guys and the way they're playing. I mean, even in the second half, we're starting to dominate in the second half as we wear down defenses running the ball in the first. So I want to say, man, we're going into this Alabama game. I think we have a chance, and we are on the road, though. That's the only thing. So this is going to be a tough matchup. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.